Good morning, family. Hi, everybody. Oh, it's a little bit hot here today. I'm so excited about today because I have so much to share with you. In my culture, when you meet with someone frequently like this, and over a few weeks, it gets to a point where you stop being friends and you become family. So you're now my family, especially those of you who have subscribed. I want to thank you for subscribing. I really love to see the numbers go up. And for those of you who haven't subscribed, well, here's a wonderful opportunity, and I promise you won't regret it. Today I want to talk to you about a cancer killer amongst us. There is a tree that grows throughout the Caribbean. Everyone eats its fruit, but few people know how powerfully medicinal this plant is, and it's an evergreen. So today I want to show you how every part of this tree has been used traditionally to treat a variety of illnesses. You might have one growing in your yard or in your farm already. And if you have this tree, what I want you to do is to build a shrine around it. Okay, so let me explain why. I'm going to switch the camera around. Hold on. Okay, this is the graviola, Annona muricata, otherwise known as the soursop. And yeah, it's an evergreen because the leaves stay green all the time. I don't know what you have to do to qualify as an evergreen other than that. So it's a gorgeous tree. Every part of it, the leaves, the bark, see the bark there? The bark, the root, the fruit, and the seeds of its fruit are all medicinal. I'll give you a better view here. That's the fruit. I want you to be able to recognize the tree when you have it. So it's a small evergreen tree with large, glossy, dark green leaves, and it does have a long, rich history of traditional use in medicine. It produces that large, heart-shaped fruit, and it's edible. Sometimes it's yellow-green. When it gets more ripe, it's a little bit more yellow. So it's yellow-green in color, and when you cut it open on the inside, it has a white, tasty flesh. It's delicious for anyone who's eaten it. It is indigenous to Central America, and it grows easily in our climate, and it grows easily in warm, tropical climates, especially here in Belize, and of course throughout the Caribbean. There you go, have a good look. So this oddly shaped and strange looking fruit is eaten by those who know how. There seems to be an art to it. When you cut it open, you don't really peel it because the skin is kind of one with the flesh. So you just cut it and you eat your way into it, making sure not to eat the skin. So we can eat it just the way it is, but preferably it's used for making the drink, some shakes, sherbets, and of course my favorite, ice cream. Right here in Hopkins and in Placencia. But throughout Belize, you can get soursop ice cream. The common name is soursop, but I use the name soursop. There's nothing sour about it, except for when it's green. And the name graviola, interchangeably. So the fruit is more commonly used. That's why I'm bringing so much attention to it. The fruit juice is used for deworming and for getting rid of intestinal parasites. Did you know that? Now, amongst my people, amongst the Garifuna people, the fruit juice is used as a lactagogue to increase mother's milk after childbirth. Sometimes the mother's milk dries up and the midwives would prescribe soursop juice. of the juice made from the soursop fruit, from the graviola fruit. My grandmother used a pulpy, unstrained version of the juice to treat dysentery. And again, they say there's no cure for dysentery. Well, this is one of ours. And after you've eaten the fruit, you can take the seeds and crush them. You can use the crushed seeds to wash and treat external parasites. So there's an antiparasitical in the crushed seeds of the soursop, the graviola. You can also use it to make a shampoo. The same the same seed, crushed seed. You can use it to make a shampoo to treat head lice and ringworms and any other type of topical parasite, external parasite. Now, you can make a tea from the leaves. Now, the tea is not only delicious, but it's also very nutritious. But it's known for soothing the nerves. So we use it to calm the nerves and other nervous conditions. Now, if you've heard many people talk about soursop being good for diabetes, well, it does treat imbalances. We use it to treat imbalances like diabetes, to balance blood sugar. The bark, the roots, and the leaves can be taken daily in the form of a tea. And you can use it until the condition clears. I guess you just keep measuring your sugar and see what effect it has on you. Now, this isn't new. We didn't just discover this. Native medicine traditions have been using this plant, this tree, for centuries. And we continue to use it with very positive results. So just so you know, scientists only became aware of this powerful medicinal tree in the 1940s. And they've been studying it ever since. And if you want to do your own research, there are several scientific studies that have found the leaf of this tree to treat many diseases. So there are scientific reports that report, well, not just the leaf, also the bark, the root, and the stem, and the seeds that prove that this plant contains natural antibiotics against many diseases that cause pathogens. So the bark, right here, the bark of the tree, contains antifungal properties. And there's also was a study sponsored by the National Cancer Institute in 1976. Now, you can look up the updates, but apparently nothing has changed. So that study found that the leaves and stems of this tree contain cancer-killing properties. That's when it was confirmed. So you can look that up. And there are more recent studies, like in 1991, another study found that the leaf extract is a very effective remedy against malaria. In fact, it's used in Africa to treat malaria. But we have other plants that we use also to treat malaria. This is one of them. And you know what? As science continues to probe into all of these plants, our ways and our traditions, more confirmation, more confidence. We will have more confidence about the plants that our ancestors have left for us, the plants that the Creator has put here for us to heal. And like I shared with you when we started these talks, in our Garifuna tradition, we really believe that for every illness that humans can manifest, there is a plant here growing with us to treat it. Now, the fact that we don't know the plant, that we haven't learned it yet, that's our problem. That's our problem. And that's why I That's why I keep doing these talks. That's why I keep bringing you with me on these walks. So the more that I can share with you, the more empowering it will be, the more empowered you will be, so that you know that there's one more plant to keep you hoping and to keep you looking, to keep you trying. So this is just one of them, but there are many, because there was a time in human history where this is the way we healed. This is the way we healed. It was us and it was nature, and only the Creator intervened. You know what? I just saw a new fruit coming in, and I want to show it to you. Here you go. Look. Look at that. See how it's just coming straight from the stem? I want to get you a closer view. But they're very sensitive, so I don't want to touch it. Definitely don't want to touch it. But that's how it starts. That little button right there. Let me see if I can find you a younger one. Find you a younger button. Well, sometimes they fall off. But that's the flowering fruit. Inside there is where the fruit is going to come out of. And I'm in here, like in this bush, being overcome by the fragrance. See, some of the leaves have these spots on them, but it doesn't matter. Still, the powerful medicine is in there. And we take these leaves. So you would take maybe 4 or 5 leaves to a cup of water. You boil the water, and then you put the leaves in there, and you let them steep. And then you would drink that. And I'll tell you a secret. It's much better to make them a cup at a time. That's why it's important to grow the plant, so that you can just go outside and pick your leaves. Now, of course, in the absence of that, you can buy the dried leaves, but still you would just use 4 or 5 leaves to a cup of water if you're using it medicinally. If you're doing it just for flavor and just because you like drinking the tea, I don't think you need that many leaves. But my training is not for the pleasure of it, it's for the healing of it. So yeah, about 4 or 5 leaves in hot water. You boil the water, then you throw the leaves in there. My grandmother used to let them steep overnight. That was her thing. She didn't drink it hot. She drank it at room temperature. So she would soak the leaves in, I take these dead ones off. She would soak the leaves in the boiling water. Well, you boil the water, right? You put the leaves in there, and then she would put a cover on it and let it sit through the night. And then in the morning, that would be her tea. I don't ever remember her reheating it. She would just take it like that. So this is the graviola, the Annona muricata, the soursop. Did you know that this plant had so many wonderful healing properties? And that's just what they're finding out now. God only knows what else we don't know about this plant. There's so much that we don't know. And like I said, if you have this plant in your environment, please build a shrine around it. There's the bark. Wait, I want to get you a better look at the come on, why does this always happen when I'm trying to show you a better view? So this is the going all the way down. So how do you build a shrine around it? Here, do what I did. You pull out, you put fresh material, nutritional material, and then you pull out the grasses. You pull out the weeds from around it. See, it gives it up really easy. You pull out the weeds so that there's no competition. And you make sure that, like here's a vine, you take them all out so that only the tree is going into the ground. You put fresh nutrition, planting material, and then you create a border. You can do it with rock. You create a nice border around it. But you see how just the tree goes straight down. Now we seldom use the root because using the root would mean killing the tree, at least partially. So unless you have a multitude of trees, at least more than one, then we really stay away from using the root, especially now since there's so few of them. So what we implore you to do is to, when you eat the fruit, when you eat this fruit, save the seeds and please plant them, propagate this plant. Even if it's not on your land, return them to the land some kind of way. We need to grow more of this plant. It's here to help us. We need to see more of them. You know, we were very lucky today because usually the dog, I don't bring you to this side much because the dog next door, he's like a really good watchdog, right? So he likes to come out when I'm here and he wants to be in the show, but he's so noisy. So today I had a little talk with him and I said, look, you can't be in the show. If you're going to come, you're going to sit here and you're going to be quiet. So he's behaving and he's being really quiet. So you see, even animals are courteous to this exchange of knowledge. Listen, guys, if you like what you see and you want to see more of it, please let me know. Give us a like on the channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a look at the other videos. There's a whole bunch of other videos there that go into more detail about these plants. Do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. I want you to open up the doors to your own investigation about healing naturally, about all of these wonderful healers that nature is growing through the earth just for you. Okay, so this is Arzu Mountain Spirit. It's been really nice talking to you. I love you so much. Bye.